So it'll be interesting to see. But yeah, if we can have a look as well at the results from last week. So as we can see, Justin took the first place position, which it was a very close race. I mean, Justin had an amazing start over in the qualifiers, so it was off to a great start, and then got overtaken to the point where they dropped into 5th or 6th position at one point. So it was a proper reverse sweep kind of comeback towards the end there.
And that's what you need to see. Like, I love that with any kind of esport, especially F1. It's just competition, seeing that comeback, or just having someone just absolutely dominate, which I think is a great thing for especially the Community Cup, because it's early days. Like, anyone can win it at this point. Yeah,
exactly. And I mean, literally any point that you manage to get your hands on right now is just getting you that head start. Because we've got 10 weeks of racing. So there's a lot of time to be able to get yourself those points. So although it is great to get that first place position this early, it doesn't necessarily mean that they've won, you know? It's not over till it's over. Everyone has a good chance, which is exactly why every week is going to just get more and more tense as it goes. So no one's going to want to miss a single week.
Your experience, right? Your limited experience racing. Do you feel like having that additional lap helps just to prepare the tyres and get them into an operating window?
Yeah, it's good because then you can get your tyres up to the right temperature. It just means that your future laps are a lot better and you can actually set those faster times.
Exactly.
In competition.
Yes, I mean, it sort of goes without saying, preparation is key. And it's certainly something that a lot of these drivers will be looking to try and perfect, especially around a track like Imola. You think about the likes of Aquaman or Raleigh. I mean, how much downforce can go through there? Like, it's almost ridiculous.
Yeah, it's such a difference just on those sorts of bits.
Yeah, I mean, the front load, you chuck the car in. We're going to see here with Andy Moore, you chuck the car in there to the right-hand side. You slam it on the brakes while trying to turn the car as well. ABS absolutely hates that. It will want to lock up every single axle possible on the car. Thankfully, there's only 2. But Andy Moore here is approaching, once again, the chicane. How many times have we seen drivers just clunk one of the curbs slightly too hard? It's just going to be one of those things where all these little mistakes can slowly creep into a driver's run. So it's down to them to kind of behave it just a little bit more, sort of settle themselves in and build up that little bit of momentum before they really want to try and push on those laps. Fortunate for them, they've got 18 minutes on the clock, if you want Jack once again. But in order to improve your lap time, first you've got to set one. And that's something that Nail and Vernex are both going to be looking to try and accomplish here. They're currently both on outlaps, but as soon as they come back down to the start-finish straight, their lap time will begin, and we should be looking at them trying to get themselves in and amongst the group here. Looking to probably try and aim for that P5, P6, surely a sub-17, try and put a little bit more pressure on the likes of Lord Percival, Deathlink, Axe, and Justin. Then, of course, we've got the championship leader, Justin, currently in P2, 4 attempts off the back. And then we're looking at a whole second back to Deathlink 10, the driver who said he would win this race by over 50 seconds. Doesn't look too promising right now. Then we've got Niall in that beautiful pink liveried car sitting in P4, Lord Percival P5, Slide Gang P6, Jumpy Painter P7, Vernex EU in P8, Schumacher P9, Andy Moore P10, MMG P11, and Walker P12. I feel proud for being able to do the commentary curse, but at the same time, I do feel a little bit sorry for Slide Gang. But we know racing can make anything happen, and I feel like we are going to get a prime example of that as we've got the 5 red lights here at Imola. Hold it. And away they go. Lovely stuff. It's a brilliant start there from Justin being able to pull alongside Axe and even overtaking before they even reach into the braking zone of turn 1. But Deathlink there is under pressure for P3, falls back down to P4, and we've got a brilliant, diverse amount of tyres being used. We've got softs, we've got mediums, we've got cars jumping all over the place. And Vernex EU has already left the circuit. Unfortunately for him, dropping down in 12th place, but it's a good job he's on that soft compound tyre, just so he can try and bring it back through the pack in a short amount of time, but it's a tall order to do. We have Axe on the mediums, looking to kind of bed himself in a little bit more, taking it a little bit easier before really trying to push himself into that window where the mediums are going to be so much more quicker than the softs. We will be looking towards a one-stop race from the soft to the medium, or even the medium to the soft. I don't expect to see the hard tyres being used as much. This is certainly going to be more of a sprint race rather than a chess game like we saw last week.
Yeah, it'd be good to see the different strategies of starting off on the mediums versus the softs and to see who really capitalises off of that.
Absolutely, we're seeing moves being made all over the place. We've got Deathlink as well, spinning at the start of Variante Alto. It's certainly not been a good start for him. And we've also got Walker there, getting back up into P8. He's on a mission to try and make this championship his. I mean, Andy Moore and Walker there having a proper ding-dong battle coming out of Villeneuve there into Tosa. Andy Moore just currently getting the upper hand, but you can expect Walker to strike back with vengeance because we know what he's like when he's driving. Once he's got four wheels on the track, it's very often that he'll miss a corner and accidentally run it a little bit wide. But hopefully, Andy Moore, the TikTok superstar, is going to be able to pull one out the bag here and sort of hold Walker back just a little bit, or maybe just try and escape from his grasp, because once he's got you, he's got you.
He's got it, yeah. There's no escaping that.
There's no escaping Walker. He is inevitable. Very similar to Justin Ayer, setting the fastest lap of the race there with a 1:16.7. Brilliant stuff. Pull myself even further ahead. Trying to make somewhat of an overcut work. I suppose it's an overcut. It's not really the same compounded tyres, but hopefully everyone gets my gist with what I'm saying, because someone is certainly trying to get in the rhythm here, and that'll be F1 Andy Moore. Currently 8 tenths back off of Verdex on a fresh set of hard tyres. He's going to have a lot more pace on those drivers around him.
Yeah, just really looking to see him try and climb up a bit, maybe catch a bit on that lead of Vernex, and maybe even challenge towards Deathlink later on. But we can see.
It'll be a tall order.
Could be some heroics.
It could be some heroics. Fortunately, not into Sandavant, but it might be into Aquaminerale. Only time will tell, but at this minute, we're starting to see this field sort of pad out a little bit, starting to form gaps a little bit here, there, and everywhere. Again, it is so much easier to be able to put in a competitive lap time just falling back out the DRS of a couple of these drivers. But again, if you don't have that fresher tyre, you don't have that fresher rubber to be able to push on further than the cars around you, falling out of DRS, it's almost self-sabotage at that point. It's absolutely horrific, and vice versa.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, especially with Axe and Jump Painter not pitting yet, to see where they slot back in as that starts to come around. It'll be crucial to see if they can get back into that DRS train and just make sure they don't drop too far behind with the change.
Yes, absolutely. But we're going to have to wait and see for that one, because those drivers are certainly trying to run it a couple laps longer so they can pit it onto a fresher set of soft compound tyres in comparison to those who have dived it in the pits already off the softs onto a set of mediums. Personally, again, I feel like Axe might be able to get the jump, and certainly if he does, it'll be entertaining to watch him try and carve himself back through the field. Very similar to what Andy Moore's trying to do at the minute, as we see him challenging there through a Varianta Alta. Just once again doing a very subconscious tactic. We see it quite a lot here in the Alpine Community Cup, and I'm sure those of you at home maybe even do it yourself without even realising. Just by pulling out into the car's mirrors, trying to offset them, just trying to disrupt them, maybe make them look behind once or twice in a straight. It all adds up, it all plays on their mind, and then it all ends up into some sort of psychological methodology to being able to perform an overtake. Once again, you see diving to the inside, but steaming around the outside of the DRS and a little bit of battery deployed as well. Andy Moore climbs himself up into P8. Brilliant stuff so far from him.
Yeah, really seeing him start to climb the paces a bit on those harder tyres as they start to warm up, and yeah, just trying to push up as many places as possible.
Yes, absolutely. We've got Axford picking up a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Absolutely. We've got more battles heading all throughout everywhere, and I do believe that's Andy Moore who's ended up hitting the wall. That allows Deathlink, Jumpy Painter to hop through. Vernex as well. That's unfortunate for Andy Moore. I'm just trying to figure out where that was on track there. I believe it might have been a Varianta Alta, which, again, very unfortunate for Andy. He's going to have to lift his head up and keep going. Thankfully, it doesn't look like he's got too much wing damage there, so hopefully he'll be able to push on and keep his head up. But how many penalties Deathlink's picked up? Once again, it's going to be a finite amount when Verdex comes up to the line here to come across the line for P7. And he wasn't able to jump up any positions, unfortunately. And then, of course, we've got Andy Moore. Got caught up in a little incident there towards the latter end of the race. But I do believe he jumps ahead of Vernex there.
Yeah, great way to finish out the race
P7.
after that little shape. P7, that's a good
Brilliant.
finish.
For us, Andy Moore, I'll take that. And look forward to trying to move ahead with next week. Driver of the day, Andy Moore. I'm not too sure about that one.
Yeah, with the crash at the end, I'm not 100% on that one.
Pick out a driver of the day for us. But other than that, brilliant result there from Justin. Once again, proven he's the real deal. He's here to stay. Axe just shy of being able to get a win here for Season 2 in the Community Cup. But again, it's finest of margins. Once again, you got to think, if there weren't any penalties, maybe the drivers might have raced it a little differently.
Yeah, you never know at the end of the day, and that's just how it is. Week to week it being different, but one thing stays the same, and that is Justin. Just dominant performance again.
Yes, absolutely. Well, while they're celebrating on the podium, hopefully we'll be able to jump over and have a little look at the final standings. We've got Justin, started P2, comes home with the win there. Axe, fastest lap and P2. After starting on pole, he's going to feel a little disappointed, but I'm sure he won't necessarily mind it too much. It's still a good handful of points moving forward to the third qualifier. Niall, once again, finishing on the podium. On one of only the 2 drivers here who have a 100% podium record. Of course, with Justin, with the back-to-back wins. Then we've got Slide Gang P4, Lord Percival P5, Deathlink P6, Andy Moore P7, Vernix P8, Walker P9, sneaking into the points. I needed to cast Kirsten him a little bit harder, didn't I?
Yeah.
And then we've got Schumacher P10, MMG P11, and Jumpy Painter, who of course retired from the session, but he's still classified as finished because he did over a certain percentage of the race, puts him into P12. Well, Imola.
Yep.
Historic circuit. It's historical for a reason. With great racing like that, absolutely fantastic stuff. Don't feel like we could have asked for much more.